Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at the Jakks Dragon Ball Z Forces of Evil Nappa and Raditz 2-pack. A really rare set and two figures that I was really excited to find and eventually pick up. I remember when I was a kid, these were both originally released as part of the Irwin Toys Dragon Ball Z figures, but much like a lot of the other Dragon Ball Z merchandise, Jakks Pacific eventually took over the license and ended up re-releasing, or in some cases completely redoing, some of the figures that had already been released. I'll give you an example here. I've got the Jakks Captain Ginyu and Raccoon there. You can see obviously very different to the original Irwin versions. These ones here look very similar to the Irwin ones, but just a slightly different paint scheme. The paint actually looks really poor from the box. Hopefully it's not that bad when I get them opened up. But you see really great artwork on the Dragon Ball Z figures here. Nice shot of Trunks on the top there and Cell. It would have been nice if they had had a shot of Nappa and Raditz, much like on, don't know if you can see, but the Cell Piccolo 2-pack, there's a shot at the top there of Cell and Piccolo. So a little bit of a shame there, but still really cool, really exciting looking packaging. You can probably pick this up on eBay at the moment, although some of the sellers are really pricey, and I don't know how they justify it. I'll give you an example. Some of the Jakks Nova Shenron figures have been selling for over $500 on a bid. Now, whilst it's very rare, I don't know who would justify paying that amount of money. Same with these guys. These guys have been going for over $100 in some cases, and I'm not quite sure why, but still really cool set and very excited to get this opened up. And a quick look at the back of the packaging. We see Super Saiyan 2 Trunks and Perfect Cell, obviously Piccolo and Frieza 2, which is a really cool set. Goku and Majin Vegeta, which I'm going to try and get a review for you guys. At the bottom we see the movie collection figures, which are the larger scale figures. If you haven't seen my review on Super Android 13, make sure you check that out. So not a bad lineup here, but let's get this set opened up. Okay, and here we have Nappa and Raditz opened up and out of the packaging. And if I'm honest, I'm a little bit disappointed. Just comparing the size of these guys to the other Jakks releases, and you can see there is a huge difference, which makes me think that these are actually just repaints of the original Irwin figures. Yeah, really big shame, especially when you consider that the Raditz isn't too bad with Captain Ginyu, but you look at Nappa, who's meant to be one of the bulkier, larger Dragon Ball Z characters. He's really dwarfed by Raccoon. In terms of accessories, they do come with some Dragon Balls. There is the 3-star, 5, and what have we got here? 5 and 6-star balls. So interesting there. Not sure why they really gave us that. There are probably much better accessories that they could have thrown in. Also, what's interesting too, you see obviously they both come with their respective scouters. Obviously, huge difference. Let's start by taking a look at Raditz. Now, I'll bring it forward so you guys can see the quality of paint apps on this guy is very poor. It looks really cheap. So if you're looking on eBay and you're seeing these guys at the $100 price point, I would leave the seller alone, to be honest with you. Really disappointing. Take a look here. You can see obviously on the side pods here, side pods, on the shoulder armor, I should say. Like that looks really bad. Now it probably has been just glued there, but the level of paint is really quite poor. Moving down, the rest of him's not too bad. There is some smudging on the red over here, which is a bit of a shame. And the back, obviously. In terms of articulation, he's got a swivel head, which doesn't move because his hair is too bulky. He's got ball jointed arms, which is good. Nothing in the elbows. He's got a swivel waist, but very limited again because of the hair. His legs move forward and back, and then bend at the knee. And that's pretty much it. So, not really more I can say on this guy. A little bit of a disappointment, if I'm honest. You compare him to some of the other Jakks figures like the Raccoon or the Ginyu, and they're very, very different figures. So not sure why that is. Again, you know, if these were $10, $20, you'd say, okay, it's not too bad. But to be going on eBay for in the hundreds, I just can't justify that. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Nappa. Nappa, one of my favourite characters from the cartoon. I remember watching him as a kid. I thought this guy's pretty cool. Slightly better paint than the Raditz, which is good to see. Nice face sculpt. You can definitely tell it is him. His head is on a swivel, which is good. Ball jointed arms, also really, really good. Swivel in the waist. The legs move forward and back, and then bend at the knee. So again, what makes me think these are just reissues of the Irwin figures, just the limited articulation. But at least on the Nappa, the paint apps are quite a bit nicer, which is really good to see. So overall, for Dragon Ball Z figures, they're not bad. They've got that nostalgia factor, which I really like. They're from one of my favourite TV shows of all time. Are they as good as some of the later released Jakks figures? No. Can they blend in with some of the Jakks figures? At a stretch, but again, you look at the difference between some of the bigger characters, so that's a little bit questionable there. But if you can find these guys at a really reasonable price, then I'd say absolutely pick them up. Shop around on eBay, look online. At the $20 to $30 price point, these guys are absolutely a must-have. Anything above that, and you've got to start to question what you're going to do with these figures. As is, it's not too bad for me because I'm probably just going to have these guys on display. But if you're a collector who likes to pose your figures or likes a bit more articulation, try and shop around, try and find the later released versions of these guys or a reasonably priced battle pack. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching the Forces of Evil, Nappa and Raditz 2-pack review.